All right. So, anything else you would like to add? All right. Who would like to go next? Please. Would like to share his ideas or her idea.
I got I go
Okay.
next.
All right.
I think
Let's
okay,
see
I
what you have
think
to
that
share.
I think that for her to be like a 23-year-old woman, that she really was like exploring like what she really wanted, what made her feel good and things like that. And it didn't work for me like when I was coming up. Even certain things it was all considered like taboo. Don't do this, don't do that, don't you come on with no baby, don't you like it was just like kind of like rules and laws and no, I didn't grow up Muslim when I said don't come on with no baby. But it was kind of like rules and laws that kind of almost scared you. And then you felt it, and then becoming Muslim as a young adult, and then not to say that things Islamically kind of scared you. It was just that maybe I could say a lot of things about my ex-husband or whatever, but I will say he must have read a lot of poetry and stuff like Ralph Harton or something like that, which was like just like which was just maybe like a balance or whatever. But it still wasn't a part. It still wasn't a part that maybe like if I wasn't told by somebody else that this is okay, this is all right or whatever, I still may not have. I might be like the lady at the library trying to school Maria. Maria looking like, no, you can't school me, lady. I already know. So so yeah, so I thought that those part was interesting that she did do that, and although she did, to me, she did kind of know what she wanted because it is scary to go away from home and it, to make your mark somewhere and try to figure something out. And it didn't turn out nowhere as near as bad as I thought it was going to turn out. Thankfully, like with nothing tragic like kidnapped or anything like that. So that part I was glad about, and it was kind of cute how they was like, oh well, no, nobody came, and then he was in Paris, and daddy saw her and all of that kind of stuff. But that's like fairy tale kind of money and makes stuff sound good. Like when he ain't stopped me in Geneva, but he just followed me on to Paris, that kind of thing. That was kind of cute though. I think that was kind of mushy, but I liked it anyway. So yeah, that's it. That's all I have.
What character in the whole story kind of like you thought kind of reflected or somehow you liked it?
I guess I would say Maria because she was the main character.
Okay.
Like I said, that's a lot when you think about and you think about the climate that not the climate that it was. We always say, oh, back then, like the times was better. Sometimes the time may not have been rough, but still, that's a lot to leave your home to go somewhere else and make your mark on the wheel, no matter how she did it or whatever. And she was just fortunate enough, as it so turned out, that she ain't really got a lot of horror stories to tell about her experience working at the Copacabana. She don't have a lot of horror stories to tell, and she always was around somehow around people that really looked out for her as well with Milan and with Ralph Hart. You know, so so yeah. And I don't think she ever made it back to Brazil because it's like at the end she had the two children and she this and that, and the story is mildly based off her story. Like it's not Maria per se, but so the story is about Maria. She a real life,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
so thought that was cute too. But nah. And I still ain't figured out the road to Santiago. Why they keep talking about it? If the road to Santiago was in Brazil somewhere, why they keep talking about in Geneva they was walking to it? Remember, I keep
Mm.
going back to when she was like, I was walking and this lady was with me. It was the same lady from the beginning of the book. And I was like, in her head, was that like a figment of Mary, Mother Jesus? Because a lot of people prayed to Mary, Mother Jesus. And you were saying that no, it was like her, like different phases of her kind of like self. showing up for her. So I was just like a little confused with that time. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, Road to San Diego, Paulo has mentioned in a couple of books, and especially he's making up to that kind of, especially what was that, Alchemist? So, which is the kind of his
It's a
famous book.
spiritual kind of thing.
Kind of, yeah, he has, it's a story of a shepherd boy, similar kind to like
No, I know the
Maria.
alchemist. I'm just saying he always
Yeah.
say the road to
So,
Santiago, and I could see
yeah,
it being in his other books. I can per se
yeah,
see it, but why did he
yeah.
just throw it in this book? It's just like why was they on that road when that maybe you can drive from can you drive how close?
Yeah, it's
I
just
even
like
look
a
on the
kind of
map. Is
a
it kind of close? It's across
what
the
I can
bridge.
understand. What I can understand, he's talking about a journey to spiritual kind of discovery that he wants to discover
Not so
something, and
much
even he
that so
mentioned, and yeah, he even mentioned something to India and going into like yoga stuff and things like that, like
But
discovering the spirit.
I thought it was real. I thought it had to
so
do
It
I
with,
is
think
a
it was
real
real.
road.
yes,
Yeah.
right, going from one area to the
To
northwest, the most
another.
northwestern part of
Yeah.
Spain, right?
Yes, it
Mm-hmm.
is. Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Originally, yeah.
So if it's in Spain, why did they have a sign in Geneva saying road to um
Because you can actually take that road and it will take you from
Yeah,
Geneva
to
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 Spain.
to
It's an
Spain. Yeah,
It
actual
is a
road.
real
It's a real
sign. It
road.
may be a real
yeah,
street
Yes, it's a
sign that
real
say you
road.
can drive
yeah.
there.
You know, European
Yeah.
countries, they are all interconnected. You can just go by road and then
Yeah.
it's like you
Uh,
go from
like in
one
the
country.
US, Route
Yeah,
66, Route
You can
66
go
takes you
everywhere.
all from one coast to
Yeah.
another. Yeah,
yep,
same
yeah,
thing.
kind of
Because first I
something
was
like that.
thinking like when I couldn't figure it out, I said maybe that's the spiritual thing you always said. Well, you know how you be like, well, we should always be making our intentions to
The,
make Hajj or if you never made Hajj, like that kind of thing. So maybe
yeah, yeah,
the
kind
road
of
to
thing. Like,
Santiago is a spiritual thing you should always be on like for enlightenment or something.
It's
But
that
then
yeah,
it's a
It's
kind
a
real
of
place.
metaphorical road. It's a real
So when
road.
you
It's
get
not
there, what
metaphorical.
happened when you get to Santiago? What's there? Is it like the pilgrimage for like
what
right.
he's trying to say is that going for a pilgrimage kind of a thing, as you're saying, like to discover a religious,
spiritual growth or
spiritual,
something?
yeah, like kind of you're discovering your own spiritual being and like
Yeah.
the road to your yes journey to your spiritual being or something like that. This is what as people, some of the people who are into that, so they believe into that, and that's how like all this and other people they tell
But
about
it does,
different because this was the old route. The road,
yeah,
yeah,
right.
yeah,
It
go
does
ahead.
take you to the cathedral, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The cathedral there.
It's taking him to like
Oh,
what he has mentioned in the other book is taking him to Egypt, and people would go, I mean, like rather than the real going to Makkah or something like that. Probably this
Right.
was the older route from Africa to that, from Spain to Africa, and then like
Yeah, and
onwards.
back. Yeah.
all right.
Anyway, so you have to add anything else, or would I invite
No,
somebody
I
else
think
next?
I
Okay,
think that's
thank you.
it. Mhm.
Who would like to go next?
I'll go if
All right,
nobody's
go ahead.
ready. Um, so I really like some of the things that Mrs. Sadger was saying in terms of freeing one's, getting to know oneself in terms of what is what is it that men expect, what is that women expect. In order for me to get through the book, honestly, after last week, is I had to stop looking at those sexual connections as physical sex and actually as connecting people, finding yourself, being able to connect with someone deeper than just the act itself. Because the act itself, as she says, it's 11 minutes, right? Or shorter. But I had to look at it like that in
Or
order to.
longer.
Okay, I guess that's relative to
On a
whomever.
long night.
But I had to look at it that way in order to really like look at the book um, objectively. But I did two things I found out about Marie is that she really was calculating. I think somebody mentioned that last week. She kind of said something like if I don't get out now, I won't get out. I know I could always make money, but then I'll be here another year and another year and another year. So she was kind of calculating and how could she save herself? That was number one. Number two, um, at some point she really allowed herself to find that thing which she was looking for, which was love. I guess most people are, or many people are, but she found it in a way that she wasn't possessive of this man, allowing herself to love him as he came, and of course, giving him the same opportunity. So for me, when I looked at it like that, I was able to, number one, enjoy the book even more. Number two, look at the life of women and men who have chosen a profession. And I think Dr. Ray said this in the beginning, and to understand that not all people who have chosen this profession look the same and have come into it for the same reasons. Of course, yes, common sense wise, I know that. But of course, the pictures that I've always seen growing up is something totally different. So to actually see this, read this, and then kind of hear from Dr. Ray's own personal experiences is that you now have to look at these people a little bit differently because they're hustling like everybody else. You know, they've just had to do it this way, whether it was convenient or whether they were just thrown into it. And so, aside from being thrown into it and being hustled by somebody else or being trafficked into something, those who've gone on it, who've gone into this profession willingly, they're going to work every day like everybody else. And it just happens to be the work of sex at the end of the day. And I think for me, I can kind of, and I don't even know how this is going to sound coming from me as a Muslim, but I can kind of respect somebody that says, "Hey, I know what I have to do, and this is what I have to do to get what I need to get." And so I definitely have a different view of how I see women and men who have gone into this profession. So I don't know if that means I've become enlightened or if it's just something about this book that just struck me, or was it something that Dr. Ray said that kind of struck me? But it really did open my eyes a lot. So I mean, that's basically all I have to say. But that's what I got from this week's reading, and putting it together with the last 2 weeks as well.
All
Yeah,
right.
I think that's
Who's,
it
yeah,
for me. Yeah,
pardon me.
that's it for me. That was my
All right.
my piece.
Who would like to go next?
I'll
Yeah.
speak on it.
Yeah.
Um, in general, in the whole totality of this fairy tale, the book was just, it was unrealistic.
I was going to say, Yasmin, was like, strangely, your mic was off. Now you are off.
Where'd she go? She there?
I think she dropped out because I saw her mic was going off before she was off. I think her line dropped.
Well,
Just, she's
I'm
there.
gonna
She's
keep
there.
the. Oh, she
She's
there?
there.
All right.
Oh, okay.
She there? No.
I don't see her.
She
Yeah.
came for a while, but I think
Yeah,
again,
it went back out again. Yeah.
Right.
she did.
Internet issue. There we go.
Yasmin?
There we go.
Yeah. Yasmin, go ahead.
So sorry about that. My connection is poor.
Mhm.
No problem.
All right. We can hear you
Uh,
loud and clear.
so what I was trying to say was that for me the book was unrealistic because it really is a fairy tale. Like it started off with once upon a time and it ended with her happily ever after, and Maria just bopped along the whole story. Nothing tragic major happened to her. No, nothing bad happened to her in the whole story. Not one single bad event happened to her where she was scarred, hurt, didn't have what she needed or what she wanted. So it was just a really nice fairy tale. So if I was to suggest this book to someone else, I would say if you want to read a feel-good fairy tale story, this is the book for you because nothing in it was realistic. And it ended
Realistically.
just like I thought it was gonna end because she had bopped through the whole book with nothing bad happening to her. So of
What
course, I'm
about
like,
her?
you're
What
gonna have to
about her
have her
journey? But
happily
what
ever
about
after.
her journey? But Yasmin, what about her? Nothing bad happened to her. Good, I say that.
Mhm.
But what about her journey on her way to like trying to achieve sexual pleasure? You didn't think that that was like that part was kind of realistic?
No,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that was there. There are elements of it that are realistic, but is anyone gonna have a whole life where nothing bad happens? And even in this short time
Not in that
span,
seedy
and
business. Not in
especially
that seedy
and
business.
especially, yeah, the topic of what this story is about. She's in a prostitution. She could have possibly been trafficked. And like nothing happened, not one. She didn't share not one tear. Like, oh, I'm so
No,
scared.
she had options and she had money to buy a farm when she finished.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah,
but what she's talking about, like, if this is going to, it probably could lure so many people into that. It's a fancy fairy tale story, and this is the way to go ahead it. And like, but when you go into the real life, you will see the real road bumps.
yeah.
I agree 100% with Yasmin. This book, and it's okay that it's a fairy tale, but I just can think of
Is Marie
maybe
is Yasmin done?
Yeah,
Yasmin, are you
basically
done?
that was it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know when Yasmin's done. I knew she was done.
Yeah, yeah. You can guess.
I speak succinctly.
Yeah, she's pretty. She's not. She's the opposite of me. Um, no, I agree. I agree. With Yasmin 100%. And just to add on, I think it's socially irresponsible because he's such a popular author
That's
that
that's what
that
kind of pains me.
yeah, it pains me. It was painful to read the ending of the book because I think we ended last week asking the question, how would this book end? And
Yeah.
so at a certain point, I'm like, well, yeah, she's gonna just swing through this unscathed.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
that's
like no
socially
scar.
irresponsible. That's socially
And she's only
irresponsible.
23. Only
Exactly.
And no scar.
23.
Yeah, and
She's
with
20,
lots of money.
she's
And so it
23.
means
You
it would
know,
kind of many people would idealize. I can go through this road by 23. I can retire, have a
yeah,
retirement
and
plan by
that's
that.
and that's what's scary about the
That's
book
how we
because
wound up with a world full of Elon Muskers.
no, that's
Elon Musk is not
Do it.
into that
Y'all could
kind of
do it because y'all could.
prostitution.
yeah, but no, seriously, he's such a popular author that I could see maybe a 15, 16-year-old girl picking this book up, reading it, and being led astray. Um, that's alarming to me because he is a popular author. It is very unrealistic. Um, there are, even if you're at the high class situation, you're gonna have some type of bad run in with some bad someone. I don't care how high class the establishment is. So yeah, that's my only problem. And I'm looking for the redeeming quality from this book. I don't see the redeeming quality. Furthermore, at the end of the day, this is a man kind of giving a woman's perspective about such a feminine thing. I thought was weird. I thought that was extremely weird that this is a man giving telling about women orgasm. I don't know. I didn't feel comfortable with that. Um, overall, um, yeah, not too happy with this book at all.
Right. Who is left next? Who's going to be next? Tomorrow, are you ready? All right.
Oh,
Let me
I
go
know
ahead.
what. I thought that librarian's discovery was on point a lot but didn't I say it already for kind of like older women? Because a lot of times older women a lot of times, especially when
All
women
right.
been married to the same person from like early on,
Yeah.
teen, whatever,
Yeah.
sometimes the relationship does lose its luster. Like the lady was saying, I was probably kind of like that lady too. You discover so many things about yourself later in life that you didn't know. And so I thought that part was kind of truthful. No, not the library, but not the librarian to talk that much sexually to a younger stranger like that. That was kind of weird too, but
Yeah,
okay.
librarian was weird. She's a weirdo.
Yeah. Now
I
that I
mean,
think
like,
about it, I'm like,
I
yeah,
mean,
that was weird though.
I mean, for me, the pros and cons kind of, or the kind of positives and negatives, the only positive I could get out of it was whatever the character, the writer has described, that she was able to say no to something at some point in time. I mean, like, which she was saying always yes to every other thing which is unseen for her. So, but I'm kind of quite heavy-hearted that with like kind of writings and all those writings, and he's going into such like kind of details. And I studied zoology, and at many point in time, and he was not even correct at some of the things or whatever. Like, leave it for the details, but there are some of the things which are not even correct in there. And
Oh,
the
excuse me.
way
I
he's
have a question. Excuse me. I'm sorry. You said you study what zoology?
zoology, yeah, biology, you can say zoology.
Oh, okay, so he wasn't
So
correct.
I
Okay,
know
gotcha.
human anatomy. That's what I'm trying to say, and other comparative anatomies as well of the other animal kingdom. And he's trying to just at some point in time, he's trying to bring this point and that point from here and there to just to say his point of view. Yeah, yes, there is a kind of development in the life as if we zoom out from the time zones that whatever it had been and the kind of profession. So I would be more, um, how I would say, satisfied or happy if he would have told the real painful stories of, I mean, think like if I see millions of girls going through this one for years in Brazil, and it is more kind of like whatever he was telling, it's like more accepted kind of a culture there. So it's like no stigma, no kind of like that way people look at it in different other cultures. So here is kind of an acceptable culture. Yeah, this is a part of the one of the professions you can adopt. So one of the professions you can adopt. So it's kind of alarming for a human society. Yeah, there would have been some societies, and but like when I would say that if when I would reflect back after years of this book, what kind of thing it would remind me from this, the message, the overall consolidated message is like kind of, it is idealizing the life of a prostitute. So it is kind of like giving a good way, although it is written in a fairy tale style and a Candyland story, everything is sweet, nothing. So that's kind of idealizing that that this is an ideal life for a girl who doesn't have to do anything. I mean, doesn't have any kind of qualification. So this is the natural qualification. She would use it to get to some of her goals, and like the retirement plan she would could get. So probably this is like kind of weird message Paulo is giving to the people of any culture over all over the world. So this is like if I would try to put it in this way, yeah, there are things that women are understanding about their own self, but still we live in a cultural societies all over the world. I mean, there are lots of Amazon forests in Brazil. Still, the people they live like prehistorical life over there. Lots of tribes they haven't even known that there is a rest of the world outside their tribe or that kind of. Yeah, I understand that, but still, like, and even the culture of prostitution is so much popular in Brazil. Either you play football or you are into this profession, and the government is kind of supporting it as an individual. So it is considered, I don't know it's taxed or not, but it is kind of supported by the government. So that's how I would put it all together. So I mean, there are many, and also I see it. She was not kind of forced into, as like, if I see the, as Ray has mentioned, that there are many reasons that people go into prostitution for different reasons. So this doesn't describe even 1% of the whole world prostitution industry, or the people who go into that kind of pain and things and all those kind of stuff they suffer from. I mean, he didn't talk about any kind of
Also, if
STDs. He
somebody
didn't
was
talk
a
about.
sexual worker, they could probably be offended by his writing the way he portrayed prostitution, according to Maria. Or
Mm,
you just saying
could
Maria
be.
just got a
Yeah.
good deal? Maria
Yeah.
just.
I mean, like, think like even all the health workers would be offended by him that he's not talking about any risks of STDs and the life and the kind of psychological kind of a how I would say injury or a damage or like a trauma kind of a thing, and it's very very difficult to come out of that as a person. It is a scar which would take you to your grave. I mean, you will take it to your grave. So it's very difficult. Even people would have normal kind of a life and a hurting relationship. It is hurting always. It is always having a memory or a scar. So think like this kind of a thing, and you're dealing with this one, and then you say, yeah, that's the shortest route to success. So this short route to success, probably, I mean, for the young generations to come, it's a misleading thing. And I have seen, and in the research and all those kind of people, they are into this industry. I don't see even 5% of them. They are free from any kind of STDs. Those who go into that, the first thing is that you will get all sorts of, like, you are going into the ocean of this deep, I mean, anyway. So this is kind of hurting for me. And it's like kind of a negative message. I don't think so that in people from even from Brazil should be giving a message to positivity, although he himself now, what is like he's living in Switzerland. So I don't know. Still, that's what kind of normalcy or normality is, that people are accepting this kind of thing in Brazil. Either you play football or you are into this profession. All right, Tamara, are
But I
you
thought that I
still on the
thought it
way?
was more about. I still think it was more about her trying to discover love, like you said, the fairy tale part of it, more
Yeah, I
so than
mean,
it was just
I would ask you guys that we are still
prostitution.
having time and we are kind of done from the book. I would ask you, people, they are saying, do you think the word love describes like, I mean, the true love? Or I don't know. There are many kinds of love, but the word love alone, is it enough to describe all kind of loves?
I don't think so, because coming up, I think love for us was only associated with was mostly a lot associated with um how a person was able to take care of you, meaning the parent or something like that, not like a love um involving an intimate partner. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but
See the one single word, but you have to describe probably in a whole book, kind of a chapter to just say what kind of love you mean. So this with the same person, you have different kind of love. So
I
and
would
That's
then
say I
true.
would say
There's different kinds of love because like the
yeah,
love that I have for my family is
yeah,
not the love that I would have with my significant other.
yeah. So it's like contextual.
The problem with it is, even with your significant other, you guys might not be experiencing the same type of love.
Yeah, that's true.
And
That's true.
that's what makes it problematic, because
Yeah.
it's a experience, and it's an experience of time, and it's a really experience of time and experience.
I
So that's the problem.
yeah,
That's the
I think
problem, is that
it's
there's
this word is
it's
under
not well
stress.
defined. When you interact with someone, you get into a relationship with someone, you don't go, all right, you define love, I'll define love, and let's match it and
Yeah, I
see if
mean you
our
have the same word.
definitions are match, right?
Yeah.
Because number one, it's hard to describe it, right? Um, and it's hard to match it. So we look at other attributes like money and finances,
Contextual,
and
you need other
money and
contextualizations.
books, and that's what makes it. See, that's the point
And
I was
and
making.
that's the hidden part of it, which is the other person is discovering basically what are your values you are looking for.
It's interesting, right? Because you can look at a mother or a father, paternal or maternal love, and you can put 500 mothers in a room, and they can describe the love of a mother. They all will agree, right? Put 500 fathers in a room, and you describe the love a father has, and they all will agree, right? You put 500 brothers in a room, and they will talk about sibling love. You can all agree, right? But if we put 500 married people in a room, it's going to be a disagreement,
Yeah,
right?
it's just
On
like
so
herding the
many
cats
different,
together.
right? And then, like, no, that's not really that love, and so that's the challenge.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there would
yeah,
be
I mean,
different shades of love.
different shades of it, right? Different shades, because it really is of time and experience. It really
Yeah.
is extremely subjective, extremely.
I want to bring in from the chat. Tamara said that she didn't like the ending either, and that she's traveling, so she's just going to listen. And she just replied that love is definitely subjective.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
it's and without context, you would end up into something like a kind of a terrible misunderstanding.
well, can we rate this book? Because I'm done with this
Yeah,
book. Can we rate it?
yeah, yeah,
I'll give
sure,
you my
go ahead.
rate. I'll give you my rating now. It's out
All
of
right.
5, right?
Yep.
Uh, I'll give it a 1.5.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Right? You is rough, man.
Horrible. This is painful. Painful,
all right.
painful, painful. I don't like pornography.
It was
Uh,
not
It was
pornography.
it was a
pornography.
dull book. It
It
is an
How
was
was
adult
it
book.
pornography.
pornography? They never described the body. They made it just known that
Oh,
it was
they
It's
part of
got
the anatomy.
a
They never described the body parts like that to make it seem like, oh, it was so sexual, like they was describing. I wouldn't even say them was like steamy love scenes and all that. They weren't. The one part they
It was
had
steamy for
with
me.
that whip stuff, that was some freaky deaky stuff. That was freaky deaky. That wasn't like regular normal stuff. And the other stuff she had with Ralph Hart, him throwing her on the table. He ain't
what
even have
how
his
you would
pants, he ain't even have
how
his
you would
pants
say
off yet. That was just a quickie. She wasn't
Khadija,
used to it, so she
Khadija,
was
Khadija,
happy.
Khadija, Khadija, look. He's talking about like he's talking about three in a row in a day, and then how you would say this kind of thing and all these kind of
Yeah,
intrinsic details.
he was counting her orgasms. I was like, how he know sitting up there on the
And he's trying to
like
give different kind of flavors and details into. Yeah, it could be some educational purpose.
she did have some game though, Maria. I ain't mad at Maria. Maria 23. She had some game when she was 22. Y'all know she did. Y'all know y'all ain't never
What
sat in a room with nobody y'all was trying to get with
did you
or
like the
before y'all
sadistic
had
part?
sex or consummated the marriage and y'all
But
sat there with y'all clothes off and just talked in the dark with some
Mr.
blindfold on your
Hassan, you getting a little personal now. You're getting a little too
Sergeant,
personal.
Mr. Sergeant, y'all know, don't go down like that. That was some game. That would be something that at
right.
63, That's the kind of love I want to make love with now. Just take off your clothes, get naked, put on your blindfold.
Yes, Yasmin, you
Let's
are
just be
telling me,
and let's just
Yasmin,
be quiet and talk.
Yasmin, you are telling me I'm getting personal. Wow.
That question,
That's it.
that
That's
question you was
game.
just
That's my
about to
new
ask,
game.
that question you
Yeah,
asked, she didn't hear it, but I heard it.
yeah, yeah. I'm saying,
That's
what's your,
personal.
okay, I will put it in this way. What's your opinion about the sadistic part or the other kind?
Oh yeah, that's true. That's
It moving on,
Let's
moving
move
on.
on.
In,
Let's
Uh,
move on.
in the
Can we
chat,
rate the
in the
book?
chat,
all right.
Tamara said she gives it a 3 because it
Okay.
has some good qualities. She
Yep,
said it
sure.
could be considered soft porn. And oh
All
my
right.
God, that's way too much. I didn't want to know about Asia.
Okay.
So
Mm-mm.
Tamara
Who picked
gives it
this
a
book
3.
again? Mr.
Mr.
Saget?
Sergeant, Mr.
I
Sergeant.
would have never thought.
well,
I
you
would have
know what?
never thought.
The-
I would have
I
never
think that,
thought.
but going judging by the author's books that he
Actually,
make
he
about
took the
like
book by the
spiritual
cover.
growth or whatever,
Actually,
it
he took
it
the book
does.
by the name of the writer. So he took, they say, never judge a book by the cover.
Guys cover.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-mm.
Okay,
But
so
from the
I'll give the book a 2 because
Thank you.
it was an easy read and it was a nice fairy tale. I'll give it a 2. Now, am I gonna learn some life lessons or is it oh so deep? No, but it's a nice easy read, a nice fairy tale, a good summer read, a good summer beach read, which is what I did. A 2. I give it a 2.
You would read that at the beach?
Yeah,
you wouldn't know till you read it.
yeah. Well, I've been to Mexico twice this summer already, so that's why. Yeah.
You just down the street, round the corner. You just jump
All right.
over the little
Who
thing
would
over
rate
there.
next? You
Why
said
I'll be in
two.
not?
DC. I'll
Yasmin
be in
said two.
DC Thursday.
Nice, nice. I'm not going anywhere. I don't think.
Mr.
Maybe
Sajid,
to
how
New
you'd
Jersey.
rate this book?
Yeah, we were all expecting light read, and in the
Very
end,
light
it
read.
ended up. In the end, it ended up light read.
Okay. So how you'd
So I
rate
would
it?
rate 3. I think
I couldn't hear.
I would rate 3.
3.
Three.
Okay. Um, Dr. Mahasan,
All right, folks, don't get angry.
who is going to get angry? Let's see.
I'm gonna sit quiet. I'm gonna sit in my little quiet corner right
I
now.
mean, the book was more than I bargained for, definitely. And I really, like I said at the beginning, I wasn't sure I could even get through it. I really had to, like, if this had been a movie, I'd have to cover my eyes most of the movie. But I really started to look at it in a different way. And I would not want a young person to read it. I think what Dr. Ray is saying is real. And I think what a couple of people have said that, it really will make a young person think that this is an easy way out. And it doesn't show the horror story or, the hidden truths behind what could happen in this profession, especially to a girl with no protection or a boy with no protection. And I don't mean protection as in, yeah, I mean like a person protecting them. Well, I guess the other way too, right? But I really started to look at this lifestyle more human, like in a more humanistic way. Like she started saying things like, I'm getting up every day like everybody else. I'm preparing for work like everybody else. I'm in a profession that I hate like everybody else. I'm making money like everybody else. Sort of like comparing that, okay, I'm going to work to my office every single day for the same thing that she was going to the club every night and going off with men every night. But of course, those men even were really kind of looked at carefully before Milan would even let them go. So I looked at it differently. So aside from some of the parts that kind of like had my mouth open and I had to pick my face up off the floor, I think I would give it a 4.5
Oh, okay.
for me. For me, it wasn't what I expected. but I learned to look at this profession more humanely. And so for me, that's what I got out of her journey. Yeah, but I would kill my relatives if they did. No, I'm joking. Tamara, you say interesting. Why?
I think she was expecting you to give it a lower score.
All right. It's all right.
See?
It's her right
Oh
to say it.
gosh.
She probably
It's her
would, and
right.
probably Khadija also. But I, yeah, I've been known to be a bit of a prude, but I really looked at it. I mean, I think, Dr. Ray, some things you said in the first meeting really opened my eyes. I had only seen it and known it from one perspective. And I got to, I actually heard you when you were speaking about your own experiences with people, women, and perhaps men who have gotten into this and their reasons why. And it really struck a chord. And so I started to look at the book totally different, totally different. I even shocked myself because I didn't think I could
Okay.
continue to read the book.
And
All right.
that's interesting because the same reasons why you like the book, well, you found it's the same reasons why I dislike the book. It's interesting.
All right. Okay. Who is left? Khadija.
I'm gonna go with Auntie. I'm gonna give it a 4 because I kind of like Maria a little bit. It was a little bit far-fetched, but I guess by me doing a lot of political and news stuff like that, that I needed the little fairy tale and the little escape or whatever. And I still think that it just still taught me something about just, especially like, keeping it real, like about being in the 60s or whatever, that was something that I think that I always associated sex and love in the same basket. And just because maybe a guy say he like you or he want to be with you or whatever, that he must like you or whatever. Like I don't know. So somehow or another, I think like all through the years that I associated sex and love to maybe later. That's why probably I like the part so much when I said about just sitting there in the dark with the blindfold. Why I think that was so like a breakthrough for me. Some of y'all might be like, "Girl, bye. That's the first thing you should do." Like, but I don't know. I'm just saying you should do that once a month. Like, I don't know. I'm just saying. So that's why that's why she get a that's why she get a 4. She had a little game, and I'm glad that it didn't turn out bad for her. Like bad, bad. She ain't get pregnant either though. I was like, she ain't no abortion. She ain't not having no. Like she ain't not having no. You right, yeah, y'all right about that part, but and I'm glad of that. She get a 4 from me. She had a little game with us. She had a little swag.
And let me say something. Another a character that was really unrealistic was Rafty. Raft. He says his name Rafty.
Ralph.
Ralph.
Yeah, Ralph
Yeah.
Hart.
Yeah. Come on, ain't no man act like that, man. Come on, stop it. It's retarded. There's no
Well,
man
if he
acts
had
like that.
Well,
traveled, he
maybe,
was
but
No man acts
29.
like
That was a
that's,
old. That was considered like a nice mature age for a man. Then, right? He was 29, but for somebody to consider that all his probably little arrogant stuff all about him probably had done went away. That's why he said, "I done been with all the women. I done did all of that. I done did all of that already."
and he was an artist.
So what was because he was too nice for a guy? Like what was not believable
no,
about?
the chatty, the lessons, the
Oh
this.
yeah.
Come on, that was come on, that was so unrealistic, so unrealistic.
You
Yeah,
don't think, I think that artists tend to kind of have some of his qualities though. I mean,
no,
artists seem to
maybe a
be kind
gay
of like
artist.
out there. He could, well, that he could have been just that kind of flighty person.
Yeah.
I liked his
And
willingness.
remember, he had been married twice.
Yeah, I liked his willingness to just love with no conditions, you know.
No, I listen. No, when I say I'm talking about the talking and the making her take her shoes off and walk on the rocks. Come on, that was corny. There's a lot of corny stuff
Oh,
going
come
on.
on, Dr. Ray. Where's your
Oh,
It's
so
never
wait a
corny.
minute.
romanticism?
So Ralph,
Where's your
so when Ralph,
romanticism, Dr. Ray?
Ah, come
so
on.
so when
Oh,
Ralph,
that
but
was
when Ralph,
romantic. That was romantic to make her walk on the
no,
rock
I think what
on
he
her
was
feet. That
trying to
was
do was
nothing
show her
romantic
that
about that.
what he was trying to show her was that pain and suffering came on a different level because he knew she had been with that guy with that whip.
Terrence
But
Let
he
He
me
didn't
was
talk about
he
it.
was trying to
Right.
no. If
overwrite.
anything,
He
if
was
So
trying
anything,
then
to
that
he
was
said, I'm gonna
overwrite
jealousy.
it.
show you something else. Walk on these rocks. If you could get through this and you
No, if
still like
for,
me,
for
that
for
must be
me that was
love. Not
jealousy.
what Ralph, not what Terrence showed you with that
He
whip.
was trying to
Was
overwrite it, overwrite the
Maybe.
whatever
She
they
Maybe.
got.
he saw that she was getting into the
Yep.
S&M thing,
Yep. Yep.
and he wanted to X that out because he was jealous.
I think that,
jealous.
There was
Maybe
nothing
that's the
romantic
word,
about that.
jealous.
yeah.
Maybe the jealous word is a better word.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's a good word, definitely.
Yeah, because he was trying to overwrite the previously written kind of a script on her mind. So he was
Yeah.
trying to give her a harder script or harder pain so that
Yeah.
she would
Yeah.
not like to go into the pain.
Right. She
Yeah.
wouldn't like the pain and suffering with Terrence. That not, yeah. Yeah.
Well, but she did like it though. So
Yeah, it didn't turn out like he wanted. It
Ralph
flipped the script.
reaction.
He was like, "Oh, I can
Ralph
take
was
it."
but see that's the problem because he talked all this stuff about I want to know about you. It's all about
See,
you. But when it came down to something he didn't like, right?
see the
When it came
human
down to something he
society.
didn't like, it wasn't about her
Well,
anymore.
does that go back to, I mean, that's the human part of him, right?
That's more
Have this
animalistic part
emotion.
rather than
Yeah.
human part.
No, no,
That
I'm saying
that
the fact that that jealousy, I think we use that word jealousy, that jealousy came out. I mean, the idea that, he's this, you don't possess me, I don't possess you, I live my life, you live your life.
Right.
And at
Right.
that point, it was about, like Dr. Ray said, it was about jealousy, somebody kind of getting into his spot, right? Trying to make sure that he can secure his place with her by showing her something else. But
if
I
if
think
you
that was part of him being human.
Yeah, if you open that part of the discussion, like then I was thinking even when I was thinking what I have studied in the comparative anatomy of the all the animals, and I was saying that which are the animals which are doing using sex as other than just propagating. So there are a couple of animals, not couple, I mean there are many animals that are doing it for that purpose. And even when you are talking about the jealousy, that happens all over the canine family and all those kind of like so they don't want to have the offsprings of someone else's. They will kill him like the lions and all that. So the cats and the lions, they would not like to have anyone's offspring, and that's how they live in a pride. So if you look at
Yeah, but
it
that
this
goes
one, so
against
we
his initial play, right? His initial play was, I'm gonna give you your space, you do you, I do me,
yeah yeah
and then he turns around and has a walk on rocks. That was
yeah.
and he was too chatty. No man is that chatty. Talkity, 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 talk. Come on now, stop it. Anyway, I digress.
Yeah, I mean like that's
Not,
the
not,
kind
you
of
know
an
You
what?
know quite a
attribute.
few chatty men.
I do too.
And
I
look
read
who's talking.
ah,
Hold on. Hold on. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm not.
And you just said it yourself
Ho.
in this very meeting.
wait.
You got the recording.
Let
Go
me
back
cool
and
it down.
rewatch the recording.
Let me cool it
I'm not
down.
in
Let me cool it.
Geneva.
Dr.
I'm
Let
not a
me cool
Ray,
it down.
painter.
Let
Dr.
me cool it
Ray's
down.
learning minute.
I'm not in Geneva. I'm not a painter.
No, no.
And
Uh,
trust me, in my private life, I'm not
Historian
that talkative.
extraordinaire.
okay. I was saying, I was reading about Paulo. When I saw that this one, when it was hurting me, then I started reading more about Paulo Coelho. And his parents wanted him to go into some other profession. And then he developed, and then he was even kind of given those mental treatments or the brain treatments with electrical therapy. And that's how,
Oh,
and later on, he came into the writing, and then he started like finding his love for the writing.
They said
So this is
something must have been wrong with him because he wanted to write instead of
yeah.
studying whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, his parents wanted him to go, I think, towards medicine or engineering or something like that, and he was
Could
into
you
arts or him in it.
could you imagine your parents putting you in a mental institution because you ain't follow their path in life? Could you imagine
And
that? That's crazy in
and
itself.
and he was treated for that, and then his father was complaining that he is some kind of a psychotic person or something like that. So then he put him into some treatment, and then like electric shocks and stuff like that were given, and then later on he discovered. So this is the part of his own reflection when he's more like talking into
Then
that,
they gave him
which
some
Ray's mentioning.
LSD and treatment.
Yep. But not LSD, but kind of something else.
So who else has to go? Because it's 9 o'clock now.
Okay. Let's move on. And I was going to rate it as 2. So that 2 comes from that it would be some of the information for lots of ladies, because there are lots of people who would not have discovered this one, and so probably this could be the discovery. But the remaining part of the 3, which is not given to him as a book I'm talking about, is kind of lots of pain that he should have described the pain of the other 99.999% people who are going into this industry and living into that society or somehow associated with that kind of a person. So that pains as a parent, as a mother, as a brother, as a sister, or as any other family member. So he has not described those pains. So that is kind of like a loss for me. That so let's move on to the next book. The next book is
The Tamara rate? Tamara rated already?
yes, she rated it 3.
3. Okay.
Yeah, she rated in the chat,
All right.
and yes, we took.
So how many pages is the new book?
New book is around 350 plus pages. I was thinking if we could read, if you guys are like on holidays, we can read about 90, 98, 90 something pages, 12 chapters. I think it has total, um,
So what we're
let
gonna
me
do? Try to
see.
try
Which
to take it out
which
in
book
3
was
weeks?
decided on?
Yeah,
What was the final decision? I
The
missed it.
Justice Sleep, the While the Justice Sleeps.
While Justice Sleeps.
Yeah, we have the book, and it has around, I think, 40, 53 chapters. But they are small chapters, like 8, 10 pages each, 8 pages, 6, 8 pages, some of them. So I was thinking if we go for 12 chapters, so probably we can finish it in around 5 weeks. So in later part, even when we have the workload or something, so we would have read enough if these
Well, if
days
it's
are like
300,
kind of
it's 350.
50, yeah, 350 something, 357 pages totally,
So
but
once,
readable pages are around 340, something like that.
so
So if we
4 weeks.
divide it
So
5 weeks, if you, yeah, you can go for 4 weeks if you want to.
yeah, because it's July 1st. Let's
Yeah.
just make this July book and finish it
Okay.
by the end of July.
All right. Okay. Let's make it 4 weeks. So let's go for 90 some pages. 12 chapters are 97 pages. Yeah, I wrote it there. Yeah,
Tamara, is there
90.
anything we need to be we watch out
90.
for?
Yeah, there is the epilogue, or the what you call the prologue,
Hmm.
is around 15 pages. The actual book starts after something like 16 pages.
No
And
whips, no chains, no.
he's expecting that now.
No,
Addicted to.
no, not addicted. I just want a heads up. All right,
All
guys. So
right.
we'll see you
Y'all
what
said
next week.
y'all said y'all had a book because it's not. I might get the digital, the audio book. I can't get
We
the
will.
print right now.
We have Sajid supplied us with the book,
Oh, y'all have
and
it. Okay, great.
we have the book. I will just post it in just minutes, and
Okay, no
also I
problem.
would make a what you call that one for 12 chapters. Uh, I don't know. Should I make 12 things, or I should make like 3 chapters each, like because it would be 12 those
No,
polls
like
kind of
you
thing.
did before, like the 3 at a time, because if not, it
Yeah,
won't be a poll, will it? It'll just be everybody on one thing, right?
yeah, yeah. All right. I'll make four, kind of divide it into four. So 12 chapters, page 97 until page 97. We'll read it till next week.
All right.
I'll just share the book,
Yeah, she
just
popular.
minutes.
Stacy ain't got no books at the library, only a available audio book. I would have to go to Cornelius. That's like a town or two over. That's good then.
So Dr. Ray, so this is
Yeah.
our book for the month of July, yes?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
All right, guys. Everybody
Oh,
has.
wait a
right.
minute. Did anybody see The Residence on Netflix, or am I late to the Residence party?
No, I haven't seen The Residence. Is that
Okay,
about
y'all
the
got.
detective? That's about the detective, right?
Yeah, I thought about Dr. Asen with the she watches
I'm
birds
a
and stuff a
doctor.
lot. So she ties in her theories to like birds, how birds interact to humans a lot. I thought and it's a whodunit, so you might like that. The Residence on Netflix. It's about like 8 episodes. It could
Yeah,
have
I
easily.
heard it was pretty cool. I heard it was good.
It's
Sure.
pretty cool. It's pretty cool. She got a nice little style that she investigating. So anyway,
Anybody watch From?
from what's that on?
Ooh.
FROM or
That's on
FROMC?
Netflix. That's on Netflix too.
No, that's on From is MGM.
I've seen The
I
Resident.
don't have
Let's
MGM.
think about it. Haven't seen From.
I only got Netflix,
Ooh,
Prime, and Hulu.
From
Oh,
is probably the best television show of the last
Is it
decade.
a thriller? Is it like a spooky thing?
It's a spooky thriller.
Oh, that's not
It is
me.
amazing. It's an
Me
amazing
neither.
show.
Like
Oh,
Twilight
that
Zone,
sounds right up my alley.
like
Oh yeah,
Yes.
or
Yasmin,
zombies,
you
like
would
zombies or
love this show.
Twilight Zone.
So yeah, if you can
Let me
actually
put it
get
on my watch
MGM
list.
for like $3 a month. You can order MGM for $3 a month.
I ain't
There's 3
ordering
episodes.
nothing. I can't keep up with half the stuff I'm watching now. Ain't no way I'm ordering nothing else to watch. But anyway, maybe I
I
could watch
shared
it
the
on
book.
a different platform. I'm gonna Google it and
Yeah,
see.
From on MGM. It's amazing show. And the season 4 is being delayed, so it should come at the end of this year. But if you catch up on the first 3 seasons, I'm telling you, once you watch one episode, you're not gonna wanna stop. It's an amazing show. Amazing.
All right. So from NGM. All right. So we chat. Onto you. NGM.
All right, guys.
too.
So we'll see you this time next week.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Sounds good to me.
All right.
Absolutely.
Thank you
Have
very
fun,
much.
Yasmin, in Mexico.
I know. I want to go to Mexico.
I'm going to DC this week. Going to DC. Mexico's done. I'm going to DC.
Listen,
You
is
going to
everyone
DC?
is
You going to
everybody on
DC?
vacation now?
Oh,
It's
that's
on
good.
Different
Amazon
hustles.
Prime. It's on Amazon
Something.
Prime. I got Amazon Prime, so I'll check it out.
Is it on
It's-
Amazon? From is on Amazon Prime?
It says Prime Video.
Okay.
Because first it say IMBD, then it says, I don't know. Now I don't see it. I don't know. But that guy Harold,
Because I think initially it was on Prime, but then they took it off of Prime.
they might have took it off because yeah. But that guy Harold Perennial, he is a good actor. He is excellent. Okay,
Dr.
I
Lawson,
thought
you were saying
Guys,
something?
No, I was
Yeah.
asking, is everyone on vacation for the month of July? Because if everyone is, could we move July for the weekend, like a Saturday or a Sunday, for like people like Tamara and who else has said they're not on?
Saturday and Sunday evening.
Well, it could be Saturday and Sunday anytime.
Oh,
I mean,
it's still gonna be the same time for y'all. I don't know what I'm thinking about.
yeah. Is
Don't
that
matter.
I go back to work July 17th.
you're back here
July
on the
17th.
What you
Just
do
like after
online?
2 weeks?
Got an online job too? Yasmin, you got an online job or you gotta go back, you gotta take a flight back.
Make sure you go
Fly back.
to Blues Alley while you're in DC.
And what should I find there?
It's a famous jazz club.
Blues Alley. Okay.
Yep.
Where you
Actually,
going
for
to,
the
you
record.
going like around the White House to see tourist stuff or you know people there?
I know people there, and I'm going for a sorority convention.
Oh yeah, so you're gonna
And
be with like
I'm taking my
people.
sister and my niece. They want to go.
Oh,
We
y'all
want
gonna
to
have
go
a
see
nice
the
time.
Yeah,
Y'all
You
go
want to see
to
the
definitely,
African American Museum before it gets.
yeah. Oh yeah,
definitely
you
go
gotta get
to.
there early and let's just plan on tackling one part. Plan on going into the slave part upstairs. You ain't never do the whole thing in one day, but it is.
I've been before. I've been
Yeah,
before, and I
I know,
started at
right?
the
I want to go
bottom,
one more
and I
time.
worked my way up to midway.
And I
Definitely
did
go to
mine
Blue.
vice versa. Then I did the next
I
time I
think
could
you
just
need.
concentrate on the bottom the whole time. Yeah.
I think you need to for Blues Alley. I think you need to make reservations. I think so. Make sure you make reservations, but you enjoy
Okay.
yourself.
And Bus Boys and
Okay.
Poets, that's a famous,
Oh yeah, Busboys and Poets.
that's a
Yeah,
famous poetry club where you can have food and stuff like that. That's a
Busboys and
nice one.
Poets. Is that still open? That's still
Oh
around.
yeah, it's
Busboys.
still open.
That's on U Street.
Look, can
Busboys.
y'all drop those in the chat for me?
Yeah. Busboys
Just
and
drop
Poets
those
is on U
names so I
Street.
don't forget.
I'm gonna put it in the APAE group, not on this thing.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
guys,
Thank you.
get out the
All
talk.
right, guys. All
See
right,
All right,
y'all.
we'll see you
everybody, have a
next.
good
So
week.
hold on. We
Good
didn't hold
weekend.
on. We didn't address the good doctor's request. Are we gonna meet on Saturday or Sunday? Or
I'm wondering
Friday or
who.
Saturday or Sunday?
I'm thinking about Tamara because she's the
Okay, can
only.
you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Can you
we
hear
can.
me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'm off. I am having a colonoscopy on the 3rd, so I'm not working. So I'm off on the 3rd, I'm off on the 4th, and then the weekend, and I go back to work full time on Monday.
Okay, but
So basically, you are not.
that's this week. We're talking about for the rest of the month of July.
Oh, for the rest of the month of July, yeah, 1 o'clock is fine. I mean, if we can't do a Saturday would be good for me, but if not, 1 o'clock is fine. I'll put it in
Okay.
my schedule
Okay.
to take my
Oh,
lunch at 1.
oh yeah, not this Saturday, but the next Saturday, because this Saturday I do my vending, so every other Saturday. So that would be good, especially if we do it next Saturday, then I'll be on point. But after that, I won't be on for the Saturdays. Not the 1 o'clock.
Okay, but I think Tamara's saying Tuesday, 1 o'clock is. I mean, her time 1 o'clock is
We
fine.
won't meet this Saturday anyway. We won't meet till the next Saturday, so right? Yeah.
Well, no,
Okay, so this all
we
right.
didn't vote on
This,
Saturday at all.
this Tuesday
Huh?
she's okay. We'll talk about it next week then.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, Tuesday is fine. I'm taking my lunch at 1, so because I have a full
Okay.
my summer program is going a full day. I thought it was gonna be a half a day, but it's going a full day. So I'm gonna be at work until like 4 o'clock.
Okay.
So 1
All
o'clock,
right.
I'm taking my lunch, so it'll be fine.
All right.
All
So
right.
we could talk about Saturday next week.
Okay.
Yeah, we can
Yes.
see.
All
Okay.
right.
And hopefully
All right, guys.
Omar
So
will
next
be with
Tuesday.
us next week, right? I think we didn't
Okay.
have Omar this week.
Yeah, I think he had an engagement.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right, guys. I'm looking forward to this
Okay.
book. And
All
Wait a minute. I'm sorry, because I was trying to multitask, which I can't. We said we're gonna do what? We're not meeting this Saturday because that
No.
would be
no.
Oh, we are
No.
meeting Tuesday. Same
So
Tuesday.
we will
Tuesday.
meet next Tuesday. Okay.
All right, everybody have
Same
a
time,
good
1 o'clock.
weekend. And for us and for those of you in the States, enjoy the rest of your week. Those of you on
Stay cool
vacation,
and
enjoy
hydrated.
it. I'll be joining you soon. One
All
more week,
right.
and I'm on
What you
vacation.
get for vacation? 2 weeks?
Oh, no, I get a whole month, but I just don't start till next week.
Oh, okay.
We're finishing
Okay.
up exams the end of this week.
All right, cool. Well, if
All
you come
right.
home, you come visit. I'm here.
I will definitely if I come home.
Yeah.
If right
Well,
now,
she has to come see. She has to come see her children first.
yeah, if I come, but right now I'm like Dr. Ray. I really don't feel like
She
getting on.
should ditch y'all and she should ditch y'all and come here first. I ain't got nothing else to do. Me and her ain't got nothing else to do. Y'all probably got something to do. Y'all got something to do? Y'all go to work, go to school, go somewhere, do something. We ain't got nothing to do. We could be like Yaz and go to Mexico and come back.
All right.
Have a
Sajid,
good
you have
week,
to share anything?
everybody.
And y'all up by
Very quiet.
Canada. Y'all all the way up there by Canada.
So far, no.
All right. See y'all.
All
All right,
right.
everybody. Have a good night. Have a
Good
good
night.
afternoon. A good night to other things.
Yep.
Khadija
Yep.
and Jawahir, Tamara, I'm going to send you guys a message shortly. Okay? I need
Thank
something
you.
from y'all because I'm sending you guys something.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. All right. Assalamu alaikum. Bye-bye.
Walaikum assalam.